Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm working on a watercolor painting of hot chocolate. The last watercolor painting I did was a while ago, so I'm revisiting this. I'm starting the painting with a loaded brush, meaning I added a lot of dark color to the paintbrush. I'm going from dark to light, so to get the lighter effect, I'm going to just add water. As you can see here, I'm going across the page, just adding water and spreading the paint. It does look streaky, but after I'm finished with this, I'm just gonna let it dry and then I'm gonna add more layers. At some points, I'm dragging the brush along the surface. At other points, I'm tapping the brush. It gives it a different textured look. Then I added the sienna color. I'm basically using the colors that are on my palette, the different versions of a sort of brown color. But I want the image to not look flat, so I'm introducing different colors because depending on how the light hits the object, it's going to look different. But like I said, I don't want it to look flat, so some parts I'll lighten. The brush isn't as loaded, so that makes it lighter with the addition of the water. And here I'm just tracing with a thin brush my drawing. The themes that I usually choose for my subject matter with my art are based on some of my favorite things, like hot cocoa. And art like this you can use for like maybe a handmade holiday card or something you can just decorate your home with. In this portion of the video, I'm adding layers and different colors to the piece. This is supposed to be a caramel drizzle, so I actually tried to make it look more like a drizzle by adding a lot of water to let it run a little bit. It's not as controlled, but it does look like something's running, like a caramel drizzle would. And then I filled in the darker colors. So now that I have the general shapes drawn in, I'm just building up my image, adding shadows, and just moving around. I don't want to keep using the same colors over and over again because that does kind of make it look like something's missing. I'm working from a reference, so I do want to kind of make it similar. It's not exact. but just building up the shapes and the shadows. The last time I did a painting similar to this, it wasn't that detailed, I think, because of the subject matter here, that it has the turns and the corners because of the whipped cream. It's more to work with. Now I'm going over the handle a little bit. It's a clear glass that this hot cocoa's in, so to get that glass effect can be a bit challenging. So I'm layering the color once again. I let it dry a little bit, but then I'm adding a watery version of this color because I want to control it. So I just add more color, let it dry a little bit, then I add more color till it gets to a look that I'm satisfied with. But it's a gradual build-up. I'm focusing most of the painting on one side because of the light source. I'm making this side darker with more paint. The other side I'm going to leave lighter. I mentioned earlier about me using a basic palette for this water painting, a basic color palette. Because I like to jump from medium to medium, I don't get the most expensive supplies, generally speaking. The last time I got some really expensive paints, I didn't even use them. They dried out before I got to use them. So I don't want that to happen again. At this point, I'm using a spatter technique to create the effect of the sprinkles on the hot chocolate, along with manually placing dots. And that's the end of the process. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you next time. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a good day.